Let me say a heartfelt good Friday morning to one and all. Welcome to the point. It's Friday, the 11th day of July 2025. Good morning to those of you who've been tuned into GBN, of course, part of the Good Morning Grenada with my good bro, Innocent. And I certainly hope you folks had a great time listening and play all the music and more. It's my time to take you through this morning. And folks, I think you did hear me mentioned during our, in a sense, wrapping up conversation this morning. We're going to have an open line this morning, 435-2041, 435-2041. You have the option of calling in, sharing your views, sharing your concerns this morning here on today's edition of To The Point. So let's get that ball rolling. Don't forget you have double the options, folks. The WhatsApp, 435-2041. The direct line, 435-2041. Let's hear what's, of course, you would like to throw this morning. You would like to start a conversation that others may want to, of course, chime in on also. Feel free to do so. And let me get, I think I have another list you did before. Let me see if I can get that rectified. Yeah, I think that's rectified there. All right. So 435-2041. Let's take our first caller. Caller, you're live. Good morning. Welcome. Caller, welcome. Good morning. Right, let me get this rectified with that phone line. Yes, I think I may have rectified the problem there now. Okay. Sometimes things get taken up. Caller, you're live. Good morning, and my apology for if you were calling and you didn't hear me. Good morning to you.
There's so many things that I would like to talk about this morning that is, maybe I should not talk about anything, but nonetheless, on GBN, sometimes I hear certain things. Like yesterday, I think there was a conversation between you and one of your colleagues, and the word was used hardback nigger. I mean, this day and age, we're using those words.
You heard that mentioned between myself and someone?
Yes.
Hardback
nigger. That you and Innocent were having.
I can't recall the statement being made or if it was who mentioned it.
I think it was probably said innocently, but no. But what I'm saying is that we need to be more mindful. We have problem with other people calling us that the N-word, and yet we continue to say. I mean, I know it's probably done innocently, but we have to be more mindful. In that context,
all right.
You know, recently the Prime Minister of India came to Trinidad, and in his address, he described the people that he says the Indian community. He didn't say Trinidadian, the Indian community in Trinidad. Yet we, the people, the majority of people in the Caribbean who have African descent, continue to deny our African ancestry. I want people to go and listen to those conversations. Even Kamala. I mean, they owe their allegiance to India. No one else. India. In fact, Trinidadian sixth generation Indian, for me, who offspring of India can now get overseas citizenship right now. I'm saying that we need to really decolonize our mind to understand our place in this world. We are confused people. There are some of those, and I know those who back at me would come and say, hey, we're not quite this and we're not quite that. Even in the United States, according to the WASP people, white Anglo-Saxon Protestant people, they want to make sure that America, the so-called United States, remain a European white nation, notwithstanding the involvement of other people there. We need to understand. I mean, somehow, and that is why we are so, I don't know, we are treated like, anyway. The other thing about it, GT, is that you have the United States offering to help Guyana with policing during the election. Remember what happened in the States in 2021? I think was January 6th. They They couldn't even agree on the election, but they want to give the police the election. And you know why? Because they want to ensure that things remain in place so that they can reap the oil from Guyana. All of these things, we need to be more circumspect. So this is something, they cut off aid to USAID in stemming HIV and AIDS, which is soaring right now throughout the world. And you're giving things, helping policing election. Of all things, policing election, something is wrong with this world. GT, I know I can't take whole morning. There's so many things I tell you to talk about. But anyway, thank you.
Have a good morning yourself. Have a good morning yourself. I'm not sure that the context in which our conversation was yesterday, the particular comment that you made or the word that you said that we mentioned during the conversation came up, but I will certainly have to review that. I will go look at our review our conversation and see if we did say it and what's the context in terms of which it was mentioned. Caller Life, good morning and welcome.
Oh, Mr. Telesford, good morning.
Good morning to you, sir.
I trust that all is well with you, health-wise and otherwise. Mr. Telesford, I want to attempt to do something in the short moment that is allotted to me. To do something I cannot really do with ease is to speak slowly and a little less arrogantly sounding. Permit me, please. There's a matter in the air in this here country in debate, Mr. Telesford, in relation to proposed amendments to the so-called Constitution of Grenada. The promotion being made by the CCR, a group of lawyers who consider themselves to be CC birds, they have prepared it and they have prepared bills to go to the parliament. Seemingly, according to the Attorney General, the government, or let's say the cabinet, has accepted it and they propose to present it soon. Mr. Telesford, and to the Grenadian people who listen to my brain, I am not defending the Constitution of Grenada as it is, because personally, it should not be the Constitution governing this country. It is an imperial order identified by research and documentations published prior. There's no doubt about that. We have no rights, or there should be no way under any circumstance that we are swearing allegiance to a king nor a queen, to a monarchy. So I want you to understand that what I am attempting to clarify, Mr. Telesford, in my exposition here, is to identify the abuse of some quote-unquote legal luminaries because they feel evidently that the remainder of the Grenadian peoples are borregos. It's a word which can mean idiots, stupid people. That is what it means in another language. But I want to draw Grenadians' attention to this short point. You listened to the exposition yesterday during two major periods during the day. One was a press conference, the other was on Vibe, where the leader of the CC Birds promulgated his case through his papers, white papers presented to the people. And you look carefully to what the so-called Constitution says, and you would see, and this is what I would like you to focus on. I'm not going to go in depth into it, not to tell you what to do. Pay attention to my observation. One, the learned gentleman presents his case based on on a list of provisions or items or articles or sections of the Constitution, namely 20, 40, 65, and 83. In addition, he asked, have you seen Schedule 3 on the list? Referring to the list referred to by the Constitution. I want you to pay attention. This list of 20, 40, 65, or 8 and 83 are not anywhere in the Constitution related to Section 39.5. So let's go to Schedule 1. Schedule 1 says, crystallically, they present the list there of they call it the provisions. That's the word there. Provisions referred to in 39.5, which gives referendum authority to the changing, modification, amendment of the Constitution. It starts with 1921-57. It goes on to some in 20, some in 30, some in 40, some in 50, and it goes on. And it gives some exceptions, for instance, certain chapters except certain numbers, for example, 71, 90, 91, 104. But then it goes on to another number, 111. But there is a caveat, and the caveat says 111 in its application to any, meaning one or more, of the forementioned provisions of this schedule, which is Schedule 1. Nowhere in that list referred to by the said schedule are the numbers 20, 40, 65, no 83. Yet, the learned gentleman presents all these numbers in the defense of his study and the presentation of the people. So this is what I want you to look at, brothers and sisters. Are we going to go by the word of the Constitution, or are we going to go by the word of what a legal luminary, based on his perception, thinks that is written there? Pay attention to that. Remember, I am no lawyer, thank God. I am a mechanic stroke welder stroke fitter. But the Lord has given me the opportunity to read and study the language and an additional 2 or more, if you wish to, because I understand them. And they all say the same thing when it comes to interpretation. It's just said in different ways. I want you to pay attention to it. What shall we go by? Shall we go by a list that is not referred to, or shall we go by the list referred to in the Constitution? Thank you very much, brothers and sisters, for what it's worth. Mr. Telesford, similarly.
Thank you, sir. Have a great day yourself. 435-2041. We still can accommodate by your calls this morning. It's an open line edition of To The Point, which means you listeners and viewers, let's hear from you this morning in terms of your views pertaining to a particular issue that you would like to make reference to. Solutions. So I love to hear solutions from time to time. Let's hear your comments this morning. Let's go back to the phone line. Caller, you are live. Good morning and welcome.
Good morning, namesake. Yeah, I like to agree with the first caller. Like Bob Marley said, we haven't emancipate ourselves from mental slavery. And as long as we stay in the state of that, we have to deal with what Rolo is saying. Because we've spent up in mud talking about the same thing day in, year go, and no time things hasn't been changing. So we have to, change our mindset. And another thing I want to talk about is the government had a pilot program with a tablet for the school. Now we're still selling old technology books. Could they, the power that be, bring that tablet back? They said they have a pilot program in one of the schools. Can we, the whole nation, have these tablets and get away from this old selling books to the poor people, please? Have a good weekend.
You too, sir. Have a good one. And best wishes goes out to you for the rest of the day, and have a great weekend to come. 435-2041, 435-2041. We'll be moving down to 20 minutes after the time. This time it's a little bit on the move this morning. 20 minutes going after 9 o'clock. Let's take another caller before the break. Caller, you're live. Good morning. Welcome.
Well, thank you very much, and pleasant good morning to one and all. And I do hope that the Grenadian people is actually following and listening, especially to the first caller. I support both callers, and I can only hope. I am suffering here still because of this said constitution. And I can remember full well when myself and Morris Bishop ended up in an argument in a place, I can't remember the name of the place where it's called, but next side Koyaba. And this gentleman got so angry with me, and I was imprisoned for some 2 years, 3 months, 15 days, and whatnot. I mean, it's well written. I have my detention order here still. Fortunately, I still have my prison file in front of me here. I have a lot of documents, letters that I've written to many different governor generals, prime ministers, ministers of and whatnot, etc., agriculture and whatnot, etc. And I'm suffering here in this country. And I don't know, because maybe most people might realize who is speaking at the time, but I just hope that we will try to educate ourselves, because this is a problem. You know, I have called on all the politicians about 2, 3 years, 4 years ago to put down the bickering, the quarreling, the confusion, the picong, and let's get down to the serious work, doing the work that is necessary. I am not going to praise the government for anything that they have done over all of the years, because I will tell you why. Whatever the government has done, they are obligated to do so. No one has to call them to say, oh, I road here, oh, I pipe boss here, oh, I this, that here, oh, I have this here, I have that here. I found myself in that situation, and I'm victimized because of speaking out of this on these matters. I've been speaking, and not now. Strong Philip, who led the charge to the barracks in Chublu, to put the revolution into gear. But they turned around and they shot him down in his own home. I mean, let's put on the bickering. When I hear utterances coming from this current prime minister, it annoys me. I mean, to speak on the job issue, to talk about the bomb thing that went on, and you will tell me ordinances. I went back to my dictionary and searched ordinances just for that purpose. It is only related to law, ordinances. I don't know what you term as ordinances that will cause things to blow up and whatnot, etc. I mean, frankly speaking, I'm confused. You know, I am doing travel work right now. If you don't believe me, come to Pedmota and drive from the transformer in to the St. Dominic Charity Church and take a look at the road that has been doing. And I've been doing that, maintaining that road there for probably what? A number of years, because I'm living here for probably what? A number of years. And this I grew up doing because when I was in Mardi Gras, in my own home, my parents taught me that to clean the road. In those days, it was travel. And when you see road and clean and whatnot, it would last for a while. You don't have to worry and whatnot. The patching of the road, infrastructural work, all those in office, all those in authority. And they are obligated, so I will not say thanks for anything that they are obligated to do. And I don't think it is the best thing to be calling on them to come and do this or come and do that. What? Are they looking for votes to stay in power? As one man would say, they're looking for 15 because 15 was done 3 times already, so they want to come and do 15. The narrative I hear pushing on some radio stations from certain people right now, what they seem to suggest, revolution. I mean, you know, we've gone through that. I've been through that. And we don't want it anymore. We want real peace, love, and unity. Let us take our time and deal with the issue in the correct way. I don't have to keep calling and condemning and criticizing this program, the GNDC, the National Taxi Association, the Ministry of Agriculture, the Ministry. I give praises to the Ministry of Education because the school child must remain in school until age 18, and I agree with that. And still, I am.
Seems that the caller got disconnected there for some reason. Caller, I want to thank you very much and appreciate your contribution this morning. Thanks so much. Hey, folks, that's all. We're going to take a break inside this segment, and suddenly we'll be back with much more of your calls. Stay with us, folks. It's To The Point here on Classic Radio GBN TV. We will be right back.
When nature call, you must answer. You must answer.
When GBN spice up the Ghana's calling,
you must answer. You must answer. Yo, Grenada, smoke
and go.
You don't know. Look out for us at Spice Up the Carnage.
No SMS. Smoke and go. Ocean. Pressure.
the CARICOM community, assembling global Africa. The 4th edition of the Afri-Caribbean Trade Investment Forum, Active 2025, is coming to St. George, Grenada, this 28th to 29th July. Join government and business leaders, investors, and trade and finance institutions to explore the theme, Resilience and Transformation, Enhancing Africa-Caribbean Economic Cooperation in an Era of Global Uncertainty. Be there as we stand together to strengthen our commercial ties, to promote shared trade and investment opportunities, and unlock prosperity for Africa, the Caribbean, and the wider diaspora. The 4th Afri-Caribbean Trade and Investment Forum. Reserve your place now at active2025.com.
A beat that don't stop like Bob Marley said. One love on top. These sewage water out of sight, but it's always wrong. Don't lose the light. From factories and wells so deep, corals, mangroves and fish they weep. Green water for the garden, keep it green. Save the cash and the earth gets clean. We use the water with a mindful mind. It's out of sight but never far behind. In nature, the answers always flow. Like water running pure, the cycle grows. It renews itself, same drop, same beat. It's all good, man, you got the heat. Water flow, water flow. No clean water, no vibes to grow. Protect our water, protect our future.
Time to go.
Welcome back, listeners. Welcome back, viewers, to The Point for today, Friday, the 11th day of July, 2025. It's an open line edition this morning, which means listeners and viewers, you have the option of calling in, sharing your views and your concerns. And, of course, let's go back to the phone line. Caller, you're live. Good morning. Welcome.
Good morning.
Good morning to you, sir.
Thanks for the option given to me.
Go right ahead, sir.
Now, I look at most of us in Grenada. We take sides. And we have many reasons why people have to take side. I personally don't take side. I look into what is good for the country. And when the time comes to vote, I vote whom I think would do the best or the better, I don't know, depending on how many taking part. And when I look at people look only to upgrade people or to talk about them when they want something out of them. I'm not too interested in people talking about me because I know a lot of people would hate me what I'm saying, you know. Too many of us want work that we cannot do. And consequently, we have to place ourselves in alignment with a particular politician or a particular man or woman who are likely to give them work. Now, dear people, if the country is developing for all of us. If we are failing, it's failing for all of us. All of us will suffer. So we have to start thinking, as the normal thing people say, outside the box. Think about the general welfare for our country. In schools, if you are a teacher and you're thinking about a particular child in the class, then you wouldn't have a good class where everybody is willing to learn and everybody would upgrade themselves. So you have to think about the general set of us who are living in the country. And it hurts me to see, even when you possibly talk to people, they put you on a side. Even when you talk, maybe on the current program, they put you as bass. I am not bass, and I don't intend to be bass, because I think I'm capable, and I was capable, and I'm still capable of handling myself. People have to upgrade themselves. In Grenada, we look for handouts. As this morning, they were talking about building roads. And I said it already. We seem to be inferior to the people who used to build the roads long ago. Although we say we know more technology, we know more strength in a piece of twine, in a piece of rope, or a steel, a quarter-inch steel, how much weight it could be. Yes, for all, we're building houses, and they are splitting. Imagine, look at houses in St. George's, built over 1,000 years, with water and white lime and so on, and it's not cracking. Yet, for all, we say we are more skilled, more knowledge, more understanding, etc., etc. And the time you turn, bridge cracking, house falling, tell me something. Is that development? Is that education? Thank you.
Thank you, caller. Have a great morning. Appreciate your contribution as always. Have a great Friday, what's left of it, and a great weekend to come. Let's take this one from this, of course, a listener or viewer via the WhatsApp, and they're saying, we called the constitutional gurus, and no, they have answered the call. We condemn them because they disagree with your interpretation. What exactly do we want? Caller, you are live. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning to you, sir.
I'm a bit concerned about the carnage.
Yes.
My concern is this wooden frame structure that they have the in, you know, that area they're going to have some session this afternoon or whatever. Anyhow.
Is it the plaza or the pedestrian plaza, more or less?
Right, if that's the proper name. Okay. On Wednesday, I came from the port side. I have a little cooler, so I was sweat it out by walking back over to town. On my way around that area, a piece of is 2x6 or whatever they build that thing with, it fell. And in looking at the material they build that with, it's not material that that material they use there is not material for outdoor weather like that. That is for roofing that will be covered by ply. And you know, sometimes I wonder if the contractors that get contract to do these structures, if they're just eating our food, are they not thinking about people's safety and the longevity of the structure they're going to build?
When was the last time that got some repairs, sir? And by the way, when was the last time that got some repairs?
Wow, that's a big question. I can't really answer.
I would believe sometime after Hurricane Ivan, if my memory served me right, there was some damage occurred to it after Ivan.
Yeah, I don't know if GBN will be there this afternoon. Go and take a close look at it, because it is slowly rotting in areas with whatever screws they use there is not outdoor screws. I know a little bit about construction. Clearly the material they use there is not for outdoor. Clearly. There are different type of material that could take heavy weathering on the outside, and it would last a very long time. That's one. Two, the sidewalk on the carnage is going to be a great concern in the near and not too distant future. Why wait till it gets that bad that we got to close up the sidewalk and put people's lives in danger by walking in the road? The sidewalk is deteriorating very badly. And it seems to me like nobody's addressing it, whether the past or the present. Who in government is the representative for the town of St. George? What is really going on?
All right.
We wait until between the sidewalk and the road, close to where these boats dock, there is a big hole. The They're waiting for somebody's child to fall in it. Why not? I mean, if I had the resources, I would have dumped some stone in it in the meanwhile and put some, either just flash coat it with some cement or something temporarily until they make up their mind really and truly how they're going to repair the sidewalk, what they're going to do about these boats, all these ropes. A young fella trip on a rope, what they do. A young person, I'm talking about the elderly person, a young person trip on a rope. Based on how they tie it, and the little surge of the boat thing, the rope rise, and the young fella fall. He go into Thames. Come on. But I have another problem, but I'll leave it there.
All right.
Pardon me?
I was saying that I thought you have wrapped up. You wrapped up.
No, I just wanted to make mention about these stray dogs around the Grand Mall area. Clean people. I'm tired of cleaning up after your dog. My two dogs, the dogs and them tie, and still have to be cleaning up after people dog in the place. It's not fair. I have sympathy for animals. I won't just poison them just so people. The neighbors tell me put down thing in your place, boy. Put down thing in your place. Because people don't have no reason at all. They just don't care.
All right, man.
You can't feed it. Get rid of it. Please.
All right, man. Thank you.
You have a good day.
You too, sir. Have a good one. We have another caller via the WhatsApp. WhatsApp caller, good morning. You're welcome.
Good morning, GT.
Hey, good morning, bro. What's up, man?
Not too bad at all, man. Not too bad. How is the weather in Grenada?
It's we have a bit of a rainy morning, and not sure any difference for the last half an hour or so if any changes been made in terms of the weather, if any changes thus far. But it was a bit of a rainy morning thus far.
Okay, cloudy up here today too.
All right.
Gonna be a cloudy day, Colin. Yes. So, okay, GT. Okay, just a few things I just wanna run through quick. Not gonna take a long time. Okay, the last caller was speaking there, and then he mentioned about the tongue of St. George. I think that you should really speak to Peter David. He's the MP there, and Peter David been receiving $10,000 as to help with the constituency, and so far they receive more than 100,000 so far. So then I think you should have a conversation with the Honorable Peter David. Okay, the next thing, GP, I was asking myself, I was speaking to a couple friends as NNP, and we was talking about the present situation in Grenada. And so far, they're very happy to what they see. These are guys who came down to vote, and they're leaning to the NDC because. And the question begs that where is the opposition? Is there an opposition party in Grenada, basically? Because everything now again is the movement this, the movement that. I've seen little clips of Emily Pierce talking about cost of living is high, which is all over the world. I listen to radio station from Dominica, Antigua, St. Lucia, St. Vincent, Dominica, and it's the same problem. So not to say it's the government that is creating that problem is one. So, and then it seems like she missing from GBN too, because I'm waiting for her to come on the program. I have a couple questions that I need to really ask her, but it seems like she ducking GBN. So GT, I would like you to ask her to come one of the Tuesdays where we could talk, and have a conversation.
All right. I will endeavor to have her come on the program, sir.
Okay, GT, is something going on with GBN with Facebook and YouTube also?
You're not getting it. You're not getting them on any other feeds.
No, I'm not getting them because why do I have to Google Grenada Broadcasting Network to get
Well, you can always go to the GBN's website, gbn.gd, and view and listen there. But I'll have a find out from the folks and find out what's going on there for you.
All right. Okay, GT, one of the last things I want to talk about. Okay, I've been hearing lately about this administration trying to close down a radio station in St. Patrick's, and which is false. There was a quote by Clarice Modes saying that do not bite the hand that feed you. And you can't tell me that government giving you statutorial about these commercials to run, and then you have you yourself as management running down the administration, have programs during the day running down the same administration. You know what I mean? And no, they want to cry victimization and all this thing. But let us go back to Judge Grant. Judge Grant, what they did to Judge Grant. Everybody know the story. Key Mills in Carrico. What they did to him. Again, so when we attack victimization, let us talk about Judge Grant and Kim Mills in Carrico. And nobody trying to shut down radio station, but you cannot be running ads against the government and want government to give you other about themselves. So then the government feeding you to destroy them. GT, have a wonderful weekend.
You too, sir. You too, sir. Have a great morning, man, and a good weekend to come. Let's go to Caller Live. Good morning. You're welcome.
Yes, good morning, GT, and good morning to all the listeners. We are enjoying the cool weather with the rain, but I don't know where this darkness is coming from. The clouds are just too heavy. Anyway, concerning what that caller was just saying, I believe in life, people must open their eyes and learn lessons from situations. So I am hoping, as an old media worker, that media houses will strengthen their marketing departments and not sit and wait for people to give them ads. They must strengthen their marketing departments so they will go out there and get ads for the media houses, yes? Okay. Another caller called about books being outdated. Oh my, that one touched me. Because even the very America, I have some young friends in America that there is a day when they must read hard copy books. And not just read it, they have to write summaries of what they read and give to their teacher. Hard copy books will not go out, will never go out. They can't find all of them to put them online, yeah? And also, the tablets that he is asking for, I believe we are not paying attention to that. The tablets are coming in programmed with a foreign culture. Okay, so the young people are getting detached from Caribbean life, and they're looking at the foreign culture, and that is what they're adapting. If you listen to even the way they speak and all, you know, so we must pay attention to that. But books will never go out, never.
I agree with you. I was actually listening to a podcast this morning, and the conversation was based around the same thing in terms of, the concern of teachers who are saying that by students not reading books in comparison to listening to the audiobooks. You understand?
Right.
That actual physical reading yourself makes you a better reader. You understand? That actually, and they say that they don't have a problem with the audiobook. It has time and place for it.
Yes, of course.
But the actual books that individuals read makes them become better readers.
Yes, and I'm telling you, it's happening right there in America. We like to copy things from America. Well, okay, I'm telling you, it happens there. There is a day when school children must read hard copy books, and they have to write summaries and give it up to the teacher. Thank you for your time, GT.
You too. Have a good one. Have a good day yourself. Caller Live. Good morning. Caller via WhatsApp.
GT.
Good morning. You're welcome.
Good morning, GT.
Good morning to you, sir. How are you doing this morning?
I'm doing great, son. How are you doing today?
Doing well.
That's great to know. I'm calling because I'm calling about the constitutional reform in regards to the oath of the office.
Yes.
And I have a little problem with it being said that the parliamentarians are allowed to change their oath. Now, I don't know whether or not the architects of the Constitution would have created an oath that would allow the persons who take the oath to be able to change the oath. It doesn't seem rational. It seems to me like, it's like saying that you can change it and put it to whoever oath you want to take it to. Now, again, if you were saying that you want to take the oath to the people of the country, then why not allow the people of the country to actually change the oath? And it's not a difficult thing. I mean, you can put it on the election ballot. If that's the loan you want to put on the election ballot, then go ahead and put that. And probably let the people take an oath so that the oath becomes not only to a king, but the oath becomes to the people. It's difficult to see that the architects would have actually made an error in that instance. Yeah. I do want to thank you and have a great day.
You too, sir. Have a good one. Appreciate your contribution as always. Folks, we drew for a break. Let's take that break, and when we come back, we entertain more of your calls. Maybe our final 15 minutes left on today's program, but we'll take that break. When we come back, we entertain that period. Stay with us.
In Grenada, sports aren't just a game. They're a way of life. They teach discipline, teamwork, and resilience. They inspire the next generation to push boundaries and
Calling the CARICOM community, assembling Global Africa, the 4th edition of the Afri-Caribbean Trade Investment Forum. Active 2025 is coming to St. George, Grenada, this 28th to 29th July. Join government and business leaders, investors, and trade and finance institutions to explore the theme, Resilience and Transformation, Enhancing Africa-Caribbean Economic Cooperation in an Era of Global Uncertainty. Be there as we stand together to strengthen our commercial ties, to promote shared trade and investment opportunities, and unlock prosperity for Africa, the Caribbean, and the wider diaspora. The 4th Afri-Caribbean Trade and Investment Forum. Reserve your place now at active2025.com.
It's all vibes. Yo, it's your boy Kofi MIV, also known as Mr. Isa Vibes. Bigging up GBN, Spice Up the Carnage. I will be taking part. That is on the 25th of July. That is the day before my birthday. And you know something? We telling them, nah, boo boo. I don't want to hear you. Every time you see me, you're fretting up your face and damn screw. Try to tell me I should be a vandal, mash up a fet too. Well, I go tell you now. What we going and do? We go break down fence and anything that we see. So nobody come discriminating we. Come be mad and sick. Oh gosh, it's our vibes.
Welcome back, listeners. Welcome back, viewers. It's moving up to just roughly just around 14 minutes or so before the 10 o'clock hour this one, our final segment of To The Point for today, Friday. Let's go to the phone line. Caller, you're live. Good morning. Welcome.
Hello, good morning, Chitty.
Good morning to you, sir.
Hope that you're having yourself a wonderful day.
I am.
You know, I'm more convinced more than ever that we do need some political science to be introduced in the educational system in Grenada.
Your reasons for?
Simply because I think we go based upon who we like and who served the longest. I don't think we go based upon implementation of policies, the political will of the people, as well as going forward with what will be beneficial for our nation. But I think we most think about the politics instead of implementing things that will be benefit for the overall nation, development of the nation. For example, if you just be on a radio station, right, and you will ask some simple questions, simple as that, a politician and a statesman, and you will find people struggling to differentiate the meaning between a politician and a statesman. No, a statesman are somebody or people who basically think about passing on the baton for the nation to develop in all different ways. But a politician are one who just think about winning an election by any means, anyhow. And for over the past 20-something years, in terms of what we've been told, from what we see, the political rhetoric, and what people have been bombarded with is to stay poor, vulnerable, and only like people, but not thinking about the implication or the decision they make, how we can affect us in the long run. I mean, look at this brand new administration. They're young. They've been called babies in pampers. They've been castigated. And then you had leaders there who did not even institute simple, basic things to propel the nation forward. So, for example, all the buildings are not being repaired. That's a fact. Look at simple things like just sending people to study, let's say just doing boat engine. You send somebody to do basic agricultural stuff, to fix machineries, and all those little things. For example, introducing music in the curriculum, and all those little things that you can benefit immensely for the future. We have not seen that. We've seen a government right now that come in and trying their best to be inclusive and try to understand what the nation needs. And then you have folks who are there only thinking about the party. Politics not supposed to be about party, it's supposed to be about nation building. It's about passing the baton on to the next generation. So what you leave can be a legacy. There are certain politicians in Grenada that should be shamed. What they left? What have they left? Broken down health system, broken down educational system, never really advanced. I mean, look at the short 4 years the revolution come from. And we can say that we see things. Look at the short 3 years NDC administration being in power. And we can say we see new things and innovation. Can we say that for the last one that's been there? We really do need to introduce politics in the educational system. And I really get to realize that more I listen to people, more I realize we need to know that. Anyhow, GT, have yourself
Thank you. You too, sir. Have a good one. And have a great day yourself. But a statesman is also a politician, right? If my memory serves me right. Let's go to the WhatsApp. WhatsApp caller, good morning. And I, of course, thank you for your patience. Good morning and welcome.
Oh, yes, Mr. GT. I think having patience to be given the opportunity is well worth it. So thank you so much. And as I listen to all those comments, first of all, I make here or any opinion I give to be get caught up into a back and forth debate. I don't have the energy for that. I think we have to be very mindful as of a poem I heard this morning on Good Morning Grenada. It's from Rudyard Kipling. They mentioned that. I think the name of the poem was If. I went and Googled that afterwards, and I'm going to keep that and read that as often as I can. It's very inspirational and motivational. I think we have to put things in perspective. And it's not been religious here. I've said before, welcome to planet Earth. Enjoy your stay. And I'll continue to say that until the day I die. Because that's a reality. We're in a democratic society, and everyone, including you and I, have the opportunity to exercise or to give our opinion. And we have a population of over 100,000 people. I'm not even talking about the diaspora in Grenada. And so if everyone gives their opinion, that's a lot of opinion. And if each person's opinion is taken as a matter of hardcore fact, you see where we come to confusion? Just to start off with. And we're not even considering the fact of biases and all those things. It's not to be religious, it's just to acknowledge the facts of life. And you can.
I think we may have lost the caller there for some reason or the other connection-wise. Let's go back to the phone line. Caller live. Good morning. Welcome.
Hi. Good morning, and good morning to everyone. A couple of things. The caller before the last mentioned about political science, I think it is. I understand this point he's making, but we don't really need to go even that far. In my days, even at primary school, there was a subject known as civics, where he taught us how to be good citizens, and he told us some of the responsibilities of good citizenship. And something like that can be reintroduced. It probably can be expanded a bit higher, but so that people understand, what governing a country involves and the role as, part of that citizenry with that responsibility of being part of the governance of the country. Another call, but I agree with him about some of the problems inherited. For instance, we've had the Imani program, which was lauded for a couple of decades. And now, while people are still clamoring for it to be expanded and continued, we have a situation where the skills that were supposed to be taught by the Imani, they're still lacking. You can get a mechanic, you can get a plumber, you can get an electrician, you can get a mason. I mean, it has failed. So now we had a situation where everybody's talking about importing workers, especially for skilled and semi-skilled jobs. So what did Imani really accomplish? I'm not saying that there are not some people who benefited. I know of people who went on, people who already had potential, and some of them even did degrees. Great. That's a minority. But the millions, the tens of millions that were spent over a decade or more, I am saying that it has not served us well because of where we are today. Now, a previous caller spoke about it would be ironic for the Constitution to allow the parliamentarians to change their oath. Well, for his information, the parliamentarians are permitted by the same Constitution to change many much more consequential matters in the Parliament. Very consequential matters, as the Constitution permits. So something as mundane and as simple as changing the oath, to me, this is, almost nothing compared to the other things that they have authority to change in the Parliament. I understand there is a merit in probably putting it on the ballot box, which is unusual for Grenada, but it would be another further, I would say, postponement of something. I don't know how we allow it to go on for 51 years, and nobody seems to have caught up with it. So the parliamentarians have they're lawmakers, they're called. They're legislators. So they have rights, and the Constitution gives them authority to do many things, much more consequential than changing who they say they oath to. Thank you.
Thank you, caller. Thank you so much for your contribution. We do have another caller via WhatsApp. WhatsApp caller, you're live. Let's hear from you.
Yeah, GT, one of the things I think we need to consider is that in going forward with what the Constitution, the oath of allegiance, we might want to also deal with the repatriation at the same time. They might want to repatriate at the same time, which was not done at the time of our independence. But the point I call back is to support one of my former media worker, who talk about the books. And I'm very passionate about the books. In fact, a few years ago, I read an article that said, in spite of the fact that there was this push encouraging people to get the phone, the Apple and whatever and so on, and so, which was really dumbing down people rather than having them read books. And one of the points that this educator made is that in spite of everything, the rich are not doing away with books. The rich are having people teach their children with books. But while we, the majority of the people in the world, are just going haywire with those gadgets. Finally, GT, I hope you can read that little thing I sent to you on Haiti. It would be good for people to know that on this day, 200 years ago, Haiti was forced to pay reparation for the planters who were disposed by the slave in terms of the revolution. Thank you.
Thank you for your contribution. We do have another caller. Caller, live. Good morning. Welcome.
Good morning, Jay. Good morning. Good morning to you, listeners.
Good morning to you. Welcome.
Jay, I tried to make that point yesterday about that drug they call Kush. That look clearly like marijuana when you see it.
I think today may be the appropriate day to talk about it.
Yeah. And we are going to be decriminalizing marijuana in a few months. And I'm just saying that we need to clarify what we are doing, because remember, this drug Kush, I hope most people that listen could go and look up on that. This is a very serious drug. It appears to look like marijuana. but it's as dangerous as dangerous. And if our youths get hooked on that thing, we'll have a lot of zombies in this country. Going wrong, we talk about the youths and getting them on board, but if you give them that thing to smoke, or they get that thing to smoke as easier as they want, we are in trouble in this country. So I'm just saying that we need to clarify what we are doing and make sure that our people understand. I mean, the laws are very clear. Secondly, Jay, with that cigar seaweed, this is going to be a serious problem, and it will be continuing for years to come. I believe that clearly. So I think that we have to come up with a clear mechanism how to deal with that, a clear strategy how to deal with that. In that area down there, in St. Andrews down there with all the stench, I would appeal to the people and don't really go in the water with that thing, because that thing, studies have shown that when that thing come out show and it stay for a little while, it could have flesh-eating bacteria in the water. So careful how they put the foot. I heard this guy on me still alive, and he was saying that most men that go wrong, they get in a rash and stuff like that. The rash can even kill. And it goes back to the same thing. You have flesh-eating bacteria in the water. But that thing come ashore, because it come in ashore with a lot of things from this sea surface, and it can, when it dies, this seaweed dies, it can create that. You come ashore, so you have to be careful how you're going to put your foot in that thing and say you're going to collect. You have to do the right gear. So I hope all people that is working in that field, the government give them the right gear to go there and work. Can they get money and put them in that thing to work? That thing is dangerous. Right. And they speak about using it for plants and stuff like that. This thing, you got that gas. If that gas go into the water system and you drink that water, that can be harmful. So this thing has to be technically dealt with in a certain way, not just do it anyway, and dump it anyway. You have to done that in a way that you wouldn't enter, waterways, you know. So this thing is very technical. Have a nice day, brother.
You too, sir. Have a good day yourself and a great weekend to come. I have a comment here from someone via the WhatsApp that's saying, good morning. As long as agriculture is not first priority, there will always be a problem. First, they have to put agriculture as a number one priority, then health, then tourism. They have too many, they have to balance the in everything. God's first, then made everything before he made man. The word of God said many people suffer because of the lack of knowledge. That's a contribution there from someone via the WhatsApp. Caller, I'm coming to you. There was one other comment that I wanted to throw out before we take a wrap. Someone is saying, let's take the caller. Caller. Guess we lost a caller there. And I was going to give you that opportunity there, caller. We're just moving down now to at least 2 minutes after 10 o'clock, which means it's wrapping up time for today's edition of To The Point. And our final edition for this week. Join me again on Monday of next week when we will have another edition for you of To The Point. Hope everyone have a great day. What's left of it, folks. The roads are wet, so I beg of you to drive along with that due care and attention. No need for speed. You know your friction would reduce a whole lot with wet roads, so I beg of you to take it easy. Let it be a accident-free Friday, the 11th of July. Stay with Classic Radio. Stay with GBN TV. Lots of calypsos and music of the season, folks, will be on Classic Radio in the next segment. Until then, folks, have a good one. That's why I say goodbye, and I'm out.